It's time to have a conversation with Peter Rains. Say yes to life. Good morning, Peter.
Hi, Pete.
Hey, Dave, nobody does segues just like you. I am not wonderful, but I appreciate that sentiment very much.
Well, I believe that you just told the truth there. No one does segues like me. That is true. That is absolutely the truth.
Yes, it is.
And we all took a vote. You are wonderful.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Always a joy to be with you on a Tuesday morning and, enjoy this opportunity just to share kind of what's going on in the pro-life movement and encourage others to kind of say yes to life. And just four things I wanted to cover. One was just more of a spiritual kind of introduction to this segment today. I know that, Ron especially, he always looks forward to whenever my segment is done. He can't wait to kind of get on to the next one. But
yours is the highlight of the whole day.
Oh, that's very nice of you. But with that being said, I struggle personally with always looking towards what is next, and kind of being anxious sometimes in the moment because I'm thinking about, well, I've got 4 to 5 different things I got to get done, and then I got to run home and take care of this job, whatever it might be. But I'm reading a book right now that I just want to highly recommend. It's called Abandonment to Divine Providence. I'm probably going to mispronounce the priest's name, but it's Jean-Pierre de Caussade. And it's written for the Sisters of the Visitation in Nancy, France, all the way back in the kind of mid-1700s. But the work kind of serves as a guide to achieving holiness by embracing what Caussade calls the sacrament of the present moment. That's the concept that every moment of our lives can be sacramental. That is, inviting divine grace and encountering that divine grace with the living God in the very situation you find yourself in. So Caussade says the divine action, although only visible to the eye of faith, is everywhere and always, always present. So I've been trying to practice that kind of eternal presence. And, you've met people probably along the way. Scott Hahn was one of those individuals for me that, I met him after one of his talks, and I just felt like he was just completely present to me. It made me feel special. And I think it's one of the qualities of the saints is that they have this ability to be just completely present to the person that is kind of right before them. So very, very thankful to be reading Abandonment to Divine Providence and encourage you to do so as well. But one of the things that we can't abandon ourselves is to passivity, or what Caussade would call quietism, and that is just accepting everything exactly as it is and not cooperating with God's grace to continue to fight for good things and for just situations. And that's why I was very thankful to see Pope Leo II come out recently and actually quote the words of Mother Teresa of Calcutta to declare that the greatest destroyer of peace today is abortion. He was urging young political innovators to reject policies that deny life to the unborn in a powerful defense of human dignity. So he addressed the participants in the political innovation hackathon, One Humanity, One Planet. Again, the pontiff quoting Mother Teresa's quote, really saying that quote was prophetic, and no policy can generally serve the people if it denies the unborn the gift of life, or it neglects to support those in need. So very thankful for Pope Leo's very strong statements on life, and a reminder for each one of us to continue to fight for that first fundamental right. Number 3, speaking of fighting, so I am a graduate of the University of Notre Dame, and I love the University of Notre Dame. It's a tremendously powerful experience to go to school there, and some of the professors I had just really, really top of the line. Feel very blessed by my education there, and quite frankly, it was transformative for my spiritual life as well. I had a professor by the name of Dr. Brant Petrie who reopened the scriptures in a completely powerful and new way for me and really helped me fall back in love for the church. However, there is an individual who's just been hired by the university, Susan Osterman, as the director of the Liao Institute for Asia and Asian Studies, that some people are calling a travesty that she's been hired because she's been so outspoken about being pro-choice and being pro-abortion, calling, pro-life laws as violence towards women. So a priest and professor emeritus of history at the University of Notre Dame has called on the university to rescind its appointment of that associate professor who has publicly advocated for abortion to lead this key institute at the university. So that's Father Wilson E. Miss Campbell, who described the appointment of Susan Osterman as the director of the Liao Institute as, again, a travesty. So, if you do have any connections to the University of Notre Dame, I encourage you to reach out. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to let our opinion be made known in love, but to be made known. It's an essential character of a Catholic institution of higher living to be pro-life. And you can't hire individuals who have complete opposite views on such a fundamental question. So I hope that Our Lady's University will kind of reverse course in this particular circumstance. All right, the last story I'm following, and would love to get your thoughts and comments on any of these stories, but particularly when it comes to Catholic institutions. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, guys. What are we called to do as far as, there's a space for dialogue, but then there's got to be a place where you don't necessarily give somebody a platform to speak something that's going to end up giving a voice to something that is intrinsically evil. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that. But the fourth story that I was covering, and just a big announcement here on Say Yes to Life Tuesday morning, I am moving to Costa Rica. That's right. I'm moving to the flatlands of Northwest Ohio. I'm moving to Costa Rica. This is going to be news to my wife, who may be listening this morning. But I don't know if you guys saw, but Laura Fernandez, she's a staunch pro-life advocate who's described abortion as nothing more than murder. Yeah. She actually won Costa Rica's presidential election this past Sunday, securing a first-round victory and becoming the Central American nation's next leader. So her campaign and prior role in government, she has emphasized moral values and the protection of unborn babies from abortion. She defended a government measure to toughen penalties for abortion by stating that defending the lives of Costa Ricans who have not yet been born is an obligation of the state. Abortion is nothing more than murder, and therefore penalties must be toughened. That's the kind of country, that's the kind of leader I want to be living under. So if you know of any properties in Costa Rica, please contact me at Peter Range at CCV.
Can't we talk her into coming here?
Love it, Pete.
Wow, yeah, it's amazing how Notre Dame has made that appointment. It's just, I've been shaking my head ever since that.
I know, and I never really got a good reason as to why, although they are stepping away a little bit, saying they're not going to hire people based on, their Catholic mission, so it's a little scary.
Yeah,
tough stuff when you require more of a president of Costa Rica and the Pope is saying this is how you move forward in government. The greatest destroyer of peace today is abortion.
Right.
Well, if that's what he's saying is good for a government, what in the world is good for a Catholic institution?